Oblivion Remastered has officially dropped to massive success, and to Bethesda's credit, it's pretty freaking awesome. It's called Oblivion Remastered, but honestly, it's more of a remake than a remaster. Remasters are usually just a fresh coat of paint on an old house. If you ever moved into an apartment, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But Oblivion Remastered is built on a new engine with redesigned assets, improved animations, lip syncing, a better leveling system inspired by Skyrim, a third-person perspective, a better UI, sprinting, and the list goes on and on. A lot of credit definitely has to go to the developers Virtuos, but this is a much needed win for Todd and Bethesda. I spent all day playing and streaming it the day its shadow dropped on basically every platform and PC Game Pass where it is free. My day was filled with nostalgic joy and jubilation for the remake. I got to experience one of the games that shaped my youth and pulled me into the RPG genre. Before we had 11,000 versions of Skyrim, we had Oblivion. And it was such an incredible experience. This was the standard for RPGs, and games in general, for a long time. This remake has kept that experience primarily intact. I listed off the things they changed, but it cannot be understated how much of the original experience of Oblivion is still there. That janky, goofy vibe we all fell in love with 20 years ago is still shining bright in this remake.
Heavy armor. I've probably asked for light armor in the city, but I haven't spent a lot of time.
Have you heard any word about
So
the
I've
other provinces? Still teach others how to use heavy armor.
Be seeing you.
Good day.
Bothil
Good
from
day.
the Arcane University
Have
is
mercy.
looking for someone to chase the bandits from Camp Ailes. Probably trying to enhance her
It's
weird
you.
machine.
Hi.
I hear you.
Heard any news from the other provinces?
Okay.
I understand data worship has become increasingly prevalent.
Bye.
Some set
So look, I'm gonna give Todd and Bethesda their flowers. Todd, you son of a bitch, you did it again. However, I'm still genuinely concerned for the Elder Scrolls 6 and the future of Bethesda. And I know this probably just sounds like a YouTuber just trying to secure the bag through controversy or drama or whatever have you, but I genuinely and really do want to talk about this because I do have my own personal concerns. Don't get me wrong, if I secure the bag with this, I'm not going to complain. You know what I mean? And the reason for these concerns are not stemming from Oblivion Remastered, but the previous title that Bethesda gave us. Starfield. I think the reason so many give Oblivion Remastered so much praise and love is because we accept and even expect its jankiness, its unfixed bugs and glitches, and its dated aspects because we know it's an outdated game. It was originally released in 2005. Our nostalgia and acceptance is why this remaster works. It was a masterpiece when it released, the premier RPG experience of its time. This is why we look past its flaws and shovel compliments onto reviews and during discussions. This same reverence and nostalgia cannot be given over to a game that was released in 2023, year of our Lord. Starfield never had and never will have a special place in our hearts because it came out antiquated. It was released on the same engine as the original Oblivion, and Bethesda thought it would get by on name alone. Guess what, Todd? After 20 years or so, you need to innovate a little bit. I said it then, and I'll say it now. Starfield is a bad game. It's been 4 months since the release of Bethesda's latest title, and opinions on Starfield have begun to sour. Steam's most recent reviews on Starfield are mostly negative, and the game's all-time reviews are now mixed. And the only thing that I can say to that is...
Called it.
Starfield is mid. That's right, I said it. Starfield is somewhat disappointing. I just think the game is a bit of a letdown. It feels like the game belongs in a bygone era, like the late 2010s. Happy New Year, everybody, and I hope 2024 is a wonderful year for us all. Today, let's look at something that happened last year but has important implications for future games. Starfield released on September 6, 2023, and on that same day, I released a video calling it boring. I, like many others, bought into the hype and some of the lies that Todd Howard fed us, and I ended up purchasing the special edition of the game, which cost $100 just so I could play it early. I think as consumers, we should all be a little bit leery of pre-ordering games, especially nowadays with these rocky releases that some games are having. And rocky is putting it mildly. And while yes, I am responsible for spending my own money, I don't fully blame myself or others who pre-ordered Starfield. We were being told that this game was going to be something special, that it was going to capture our attention for hundreds of hours. It was being gassed up quite a bit. And after all, this is Todd Howard and Bethesda we're talking about. They've definitely had a lot of fumbles in the past, but they've given us some amazing experiences and some great titles. hope that I'd get another great experience like I did when I was younger. A world that I could get lost in, that I could spend hundreds of hours in. To say that I was a little bit disappointed would be a huge understatement. In that video where I called Starfield boring, I said that it didn't really belong in 2023, that it didn't do anything revolutionary, and I ended up giving it a B. But I honestly think I would have given it a C, maybe even worse. Unlike games in the past like Skyrim, it didn't do anything special. Bethesda didn't try anything new. In fact, they stuck to the stereotypical Bethesda formula. Sure, it might be a more enhanced version of a Bethesda game, but in 2023, 12 years after they released Skyrim, they did nothing different. And that's okay if you like Bethesda games, but you can't sit there and tell me that this game was mind-blowing, that was even worthy of a nomination of Best Game of the Year. Even if Baldur's Gate 3 and Tears of the Kingdom didn't come out this year, there's no way that this would even be considered Game of the Year. In fact, the only reason that I and others are talking about it is because it's a Bethesda game and we expected more from it. I put in 40 plus hours into that game. I tried my damnedest to get into it. I couldn't. Half the time, I was passing out at my chair. Alright, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do, chat. I'm going to do like I did the other day. I'm going to end stream now, and then I'm going to come back and play this again or be playing something else. I don't know. But this game, I need energy to play this game. Might just be a good to play before bed. I'm not going to lie. It gets me tired, dude. This is what has me worried for Elder Scrolls 6 and Bethesda. I'm worried that they'll continue to make the same mistake. Emboldened by the success of Oblivion Remastered, Todd and the squad might decide to cut corners, dumb down the RPG elements, and procedurally generate the whole game. One big gripe for Starfield that a lot of people had was that it exchanged quality for quantity. Instead of creating a decent amount of really well fleshed out planets with incredible areas to explore and enthralling stories, Todd decided it would be a better idea to make, quote, over 1,000 planets, those planets being made with procedural generation. Procedural generation has its benefits, but I don't want a soulless game of empty landscapes with nothing to do. Another concern I have is that Bethesda will continue its watering down of the RPG genre. Something that's been sorely lacking in RPGs is choices mattering. Setting aside Baldur's Gate 3, RPGs seem to not care about player choice anymore, only focusing on linear, lackluster storytelling. Speaking of Baldur's Gate 3, games like Baldur's Gate 3 and Elden Ring have set a new standard for RPGs. I don't care what some game publishers say to make excuses for their mediocre games, a new standard has been set. You have to, at the bare minimum, try to match that standard and not just rest on your laurels. Todd. Bottom line is, I think it's justifiable and very necessary to be skeptical of upcoming titles from Bethesda. In my opinion, we have to keep the pressure on good old Todd. That way he knows he has to bring his A game to upcoming titles like Elder Scrolls 6. I think there really is something to be said about fans' opinions, and I think if Todd is a smart guy, allegedly he is, he will listen to us. All in all, Oblivion Remastered is an excellent experience. Try it if you haven't already, but I still expect and want more from future titles, Todd. The RPG genre and gaming as a whole has evolved since Oblivion, since Skyrim, and we need to see Bethesda get with the times and exceed the expectations that we already have. Bethesda used to be on the top, the pinnacle of RPG experiences. They were number one, and in recent years, they have fallen, and I really want them. I really want to see them return to form. I'm expecting that of them, and I think I should expect that from a company that has given us so many great titles throughout the years. But as of late, it seems like they've fallen behind. They've become antiquated. They've become stuck in their own ways, and I don't want to see that. I want to see them succeed. I really do, and that's why I make this video, because I want to keep them on their A game. Bit of a rant there at the end, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making it. I enjoy playing Bethesda titles, so if you guys enjoyed this video, subscribe. You never know. I might drop some more stuff you might enjoy, maybe. But yeah, don't forget to like and comment and share and watch some other videos, because the algorithm, you know, thingy that likes it, really likes it. Tremendous. Love you guys. Bye. Does that mean Bethesda and Todd Howard have kind of lost their way? Maybe. Now, the main reason I bring this up is because I'm worried. I'm worried about the future of Bethesda games, especially Elder Scrolls 6. Elder Scrolls 6 is at minimum 4 years from release. They already showed a teaser trailer of it, which quite frankly, should never have been released so early. The same engine that was used for Starfield is going to be used for Elder Scrolls 6. Think about that. The game is still at minimum 4 years out from release, and they might use the same outdated creation engine. People should seriously have some concerns about this.